I love LEGO video games, and if you've clicked on this video, you probably love all the LEGO video games too. Mark, would you like to play all the LEGO video games in a row? Yes, I would. Thanks for asking. Let's play all the LEGO games. Ba 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 ba. It's LEGO Star Wars. Yes, it's LEGO Star Wars. The complete farce. Except it's not a farce, is it? It's brilliant. Like all the LEGO games, it's brilliant. Apart from the LEGO games that aren't brilliant. I'm looking at you, LEGO Worlds. You're not brilliant. You weren't what I thought you were going to be. Never mind. We're going to play all the LEGO games, as mentioned in the intro. This is the first one, kind of. It's the second time I've recorded the video, because I'm playing with my new capture box and learning how that works. Oops, stop the demo. We don't want to hear any music if we can help it, because I don't need Mickey Mouse punching me in the face. So we're going to go new game, even though I've already got a game saved on here. After trying to record the first time, we had an error code -36 when trying to copy the file. Don't know what that means. Here we are in the cantina. We've been playing for 11, 12, 13 seconds. We've got 0%. We want to get that to 100%, and it's going to take a little while. Each level, there's 6 films, there are 6 films, I should say, as I'm sure you're aware. Each of those 6 films has 6 levels, 36 levels. Each of those films, you play through the level in story mode, then you play through it in free mode, having unlocked a bunch of characters who can do more things than just the guys you're given to begin with. And then there's a challenge mode to play through, which I think you've got to collect blue canisters and do it all within an hour, something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Then there's this, which I don't know what it is, and bonuses. Oh, so there's 6 bonus levels in there. We're not going to touch that yet, though. That's not part of what we're at. We can create characters. I'm not sure if we get gold bricks for creating characters. We need to collect 160 gold bricks in total to get 100%. We need to collect enough studs. What's happening with you, Mr. Hammerhead? Are you okay? Do I need to call someone? There he goes. Yeah, we need to collect all enough studs in each level. It's an arbitrary number in each level to get 100%. We need to collect 10 mini kits in each level to get 100%. You can't usually do those on story mode. You pretty much always have to go back, as far as I'm aware, every time in free play to collect the mini kits. They're often hidden quite well. I've turned off the music because obviously, as I say, I don't want Disney getting angry. And Max is what's that? Not Max Rebo, is it? It's fingering down in the modal notes there. The famous jizz musicians. That's canon. Well, it was. That was in the extended universe. They played a type of music called jizz. You know, the. But obviously, I've turned the music off. So now they're like, nope. Watch him. Nope. No music. Nothing for you. And he doesn't know what to do. Yeah. So I've turned off the music because that would be a problem. Turns out John Williams, who composed all the Star Wars music and lots of other famous themes. He was a bit of a jazz boy back in the day, quite famously, and yeah, that's why the Cantina Band music sounds so amazing. I think he just wrote a jazz tune, wrote a jazz tune, and then just flattened the EQ on everything. I think that's what I read anyway. Okay, so here we are. This is the lobby for Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Quite possibly one of the worst films. No, not one of the worst films. One of the most disappointing films I ever saw. We'll get into that and lots more, I'm sure. Episode 1. Actually, I won't start reading it yet because I've run out of things to read. Yeah, I think I know the stories and the scenes from Phantom Menace, Send in the Clowns and Revenge of the Beep, more from LEGO Star Wars than I do from actually watching the films. Here we go then. Episode 1, Phantom Menace. Chapter 1, Negotiations. Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. With a blockade of deadly battleships, they're not that deadly, the Trade Federation has stopped all shipping to the small planet of Naboo. The Supreme Chancellor has secretly dispatched Jedi Knights Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi to settle this conflict. Wicked. So, look at that. The starfield looks different from the one on the crawl there. That's one of the things that gets better as the series goes on. They become more uniform in the way they present things throughout games. Big red spaceship. I think this is our Jedi boys. Well, they're not Jedi Knights, are they? One of them's not a Jedi Knight. First problem with the films. He's not a Jedi Knight, that fellow on the left. He's a Padawan. There's our girl, TC-14. Welcoming them in. They look like Jedeyes. Oh, what's that? Oh, explosions. Oh, dear. Yoink. Smash. They got Wile E. Coyote, so they did. And we're frowning. Something's happened. We've got to jump into action. But not before we smash the place up and collect the coins. As you see that little bar popping up at the top of the screen there. See that filling up with coins? So we've got to get that bar full on every level. Whether it's in story mode or free play or whatnot, doesn't really matter. But once we get that bar full, we get a status called True Jedi, and collecting True Jedi on every level is something that goes towards getting 100%. Yeah. Now, I know, having had to record this twice now, that when I use my force powers on these chairs, it will play the theme. So it's going to go quite quiet now, the sound of the game, while those chairs dance around. There you go, see? Silence. And there we go. And we're back in the room. Look into my Jedeyes. Not around my Jedeyes, into my Jedeyes. Right. Shaky chairs. So they hide studs all over these levels. All over the place. And one of your jobs is to find them all. Now then, this is quite a childish game for a man of 43 to be playing and to love so much, and that goes for most of the series, I suppose. There are games with more mature themes and which are marketed more to people of my age group, but I don't really like them. I don't tend to invest much time into video games in terms of, long story games, RPG type things. And I'm terrible at first-person shooters. So these sort of games are ideal. The mechanics in each game, as each new game comes out, there'll be something new. There'll be different things. But overall, what you expect from a Lego game is what you get. And unlike with, say, FIFA or 2K sort of football games or whatever, I don't play those, but I've read about them. Unlike those, you're not disappointed with the minor increments. It's all good because you've got a whole new world to play in as a general rule, just using the same sort of mechanics. Right then, we've cleared out that room. We've got 13,000 studs. Let's smash the door in. Intruder alerts. Oh my gosh. Smash them up. Come on now. Yeah. So the utterly non-threatening battle droids. Absolutely useless, so they are. So yes, I mentioned, I know the story and the music. Obviously, we're not going to hear the music, unfortunately, on this Let's Play, but they're notoriously litigious over there at the House of the Mouse. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, I know the music and the story and the scenes of this film far better from playing through Lego Star Wars a long while back than I do from actually seeing the films. As I mentioned, I am 43, born in 1976, so just before the release of the first Star Wars. I'm Generation X. I'm in that sweet spot as far as just falling in love with Star Wars as soon as I heard about it. In the UK, we had, when I was a kid, when I was a little, and we had 3 TV channels. You have BBC One, which is your main TV channel. There, the home channel that people pay the TV license for. We don't pay for a TV license because we don't have TV in our house. But that's by the by. But so we had BBC One, we had BBC Two, which was a lot of the boring stuff, the art stuff, and I think alternative comedy would be how I would characterise that station. And we had ITV, which was sort of a light channel. It just showed dross, like American detective shows and action things. And we're there already. And Coronation Street was its, and probably still is, its cash cow. I don't know. And every year, I just smashed that drawing by accident. Sorry, before I go any further, you see those blue dots at the top there, just to the left of Qui-Gon's head. There's 6 blue switches here we've got to pull to light those dots up. That's a nice simple puzzle to get us started. It's sort of a tutorial level. So yeah, every year, ITV and BBC, it would seem, from in my memory anyway, they would take turns at showing Star Wars. So every year we get we'd use our top-loading VHS cassette recorder and video it. And every morning I would stick Star Wars on telly. And then every evening I'd get home from school and I'd stick Star Wars on the telly. I think, yes, wow, it's amazing what you remember. I knew there was a power up in there. See the power up. You hit harder, you're invulnerable, and you're magnetizing the studs too. It makes them easy to collect, especially for those ones that are a bit too far away. So I basically just watched the thing all the time. I mean, I had a little what we would call, I think we called it sort of a data recorder or a data recorder, which was the cassette player, a little monophonic cassette player that I would plug into my ZX Spectrum, and I used that. I basically got a couple of blank cassettes and put this thing, because it had a little microphone input on it, put this next to the TV and recorded the audio from Star Wars, so I can listen to that in bed. It became, it was my childhood Star Wars. You see, we're doing these purple levers to light up those purple dots, and there's another mini kit. That's 2, is it? Or 3? I can't remember now. 2. So let's just do all these levers while we're here. Yeah, so it became a massive part of my childhood, and it kind of spoiled other space and sci-fi films for me for a long time. The sounds of Star Wars. I know what a laser gun, in Star Wars case a blaster, should sound like. And it's not what other films had. Now, I know we can go through that one. No, we can't. There are 2 doors that TC can open for us. So we're going to go to the farthest one first. Was it the furthest one fast? I think there's one more, because she takes so long to get anywhere. Where was I? Watching films. Oh yes, the sound. So they're brilliant films like, Last Starfighter and things. While I like them, they didn't sound right. Actually, if we take her in here with us, I think she might get stuck. Yes, because we've loaded a new area, so she's got nowhere to go now. Right, come on. Oh yeah. Force field. Right, yes, of course. So we're going to use our force powers here. Build this craney gimmick, whatever it is. What is this? It's like a Waldo, isn't it? It's like sort of space hands. I keep losing my train of thought. You're gonna get used to this if you watch this series. So it spoiled other space operas and space adventure films to a degree. But it was my jam. It was Star Wars or nothing, really. Action figures, toys, anything I can get my hands on. The years that Star Wars was on ITV, I'd sit there while it was on, pausing the VHS recorder so that we wouldn't have adverts in there. Inevitably, at some point during the year, my dad would record over part of the film, at least, by accident, recording some football or something, I don't know. And in that year, basically, I had no way of watching. That was clever, wasn't it? Yeah, we've got it still. I had no way of watching bits of Star Wars, so it was almost like a nice new surprise, sort of trying to remember what happened in those bits that you couldn't watch because it had been recorded over, and then getting the new version off telly the next Christmas. So I just caned Star Wars for years. And then when The Phantom Menace came out, what was that, I'm going to get it wrong. What was that, 97? Golly. Do you know what? Where's my phone? Hang on. Oh, well, let's just ask Siri. Hey, Siri, when did The Phantom Menace come out? Let's see here. 1999, so what would I have been then? 22, 23 years old. I was ready. My body was ready. Now, we can't do anything more in here because this little hole, we need a little character like little Anakin, young Anakin, or Yoda, or an Ewok. And these things, we can build a tower with them. However, we haven't got the ability to jump high enough, and we can't get through there because there's a force field. So I can't remember whether we can get through from the other side or we go through there and turn off the force field, perhaps. I don't know. But anyway, 1999, I was, so excited, so made up to go and see the new Star Wars. It just looked spectacular. That image of Jake Lloyd in the desert with Darth Vader as a shadow behind him. This was going to be the best thing ever. And then it wasn't. It wasn't the best thing ever. Went to see it. tried to love it. Thought I did. Tried to rationalize what I subconsciously knew to be wrong with the film, and then the films in the end, you know, all three of them. In the end, I think it took, I'm sure lots of you have seen Red Letter Media's Mr. Plinkett reviews of the prequel trilogy. He sort of puts into words all those things that you felt were wrong but couldn't quite pinpoint, you know. You may not have noticed it, but your brain did, as Plinkett himself says on more than one occasion. You know, you don't realise what's so wrong with the film at first blush. But the game, the Lego game, is glorious. So we've got that going for us at least. There we go. I think some baddies come out of here, don't they? Or maybe not. There we are. Hello, robot friends. Nice to slice you. Oh dear, that was terrible. Right, I think, need a big jumper. Oh, as you can see, one of the things in the early games, you'll notice this, is that there's a bit more platforming than in later games, and it's not brilliantly done. It can be tricky. I mean, this one is fairly flat, so hopefully, yeah, that's not too roughy tufty, because you can see that this is on a similar plane to where I was standing. But in a moment, there's a bit where it is a bit tricky. I think that thing I've just moved is a lift. So when we get an R2 unit in here, when we do a free play, he'll be able to get up there and get to that door control. Right. Oh, ouch. Oh man, I'm about to die. I've only got... Fortunately, dying is nothing more than losing some studs. And a little bit of time. Give me that blue one there. Now you can... I rely a bit too much on this double jump smash thing. And really, as you just saw there, you're better off not doing that when you're a Jedi, because you can, with your lightsaber, deflect shots and defend yourself rather than flying through the air and being vulnerable there. Let's collect these studs. Okay, now this, what is this? Oh, this is just to build a tower. I think this is to help if you've mucked up trying to get to the mini kit. Was it a mini kit we collected there? I think it was 4 out of 10. That might help you if you've got a... Oh no, there we are. I was gonna say if you've got a high jumper, but he can make it. Oh, there's a power up. Oh yes, we can use that on the next bit, can't we? Nothing in here. No, nothing behind. Oh, there's some coins behind here. Fabulous. Right. And when you see one of those power-ups, you tend to know it's about to get rare. So let's dash in here and make use of the power-up, because these guys are quite tough. If you haven't got the power-up on, you're better off just deflecting their shots, and then that damages their force field protection. But because we've got the power up, we may as well make use of it. There we go. Right, don't do the jumps, defend. And you know, if you time your tap as the the blaster bolt hits you, it actually deflects it at them, which is quite cool. Oops. Right, building a thing. This is another jumpy jump. Yeah, we can't reach that blue one. But that's alright, we've got our true Jedi already. That's not a problem. What else do we need to do in order to get 100%? Well, we need to... Oh, wow. What are we doing here? We need to... Oops. Collect power bricks. These are red bricks scattered throughout the levels. Each level has one. Oh. Oops, missed it. Don't need this to fight, but it's quite useful for just collecting the coins easily. Yeah, we just collect the power bricks. Every power brick, there's one red brick on every level. And yes, if you collect them all, you get to buy buffs and power-ups and things. One of the more useful ones is... So the side effect of having that power-up on I just had was it magnetizes the studs to you. So there's a power-up that does that automatically all the time. There's the other most useful ones are the multipliers. So, you know, you get ×2 for every stud, ×4, ×8, ×10. I think that's right. And yeah, if you've got all 4 of those collected, that gives you ×3,840 or something mad. So it's, you know, it's raining studs by the end. Probably a little too late for that to be really useful. By the time you've got to 3,840, you've probably got everything you need unlocked. But for 100%, you need to get it. So we're going to build this stack here. Now, this is one of those, you know, 3D video gaming was solved by, you know, Mario 64. So we can jump up there. That wasn't too badly done, was it? But that's not moving, so we need to turn that on. Yeah, it was solved by Mario 64. Oh no, that's a magnet thing. I'm not sure why. So if I go, there we go. Oh, no, I can't get back off, and I can't get to the Jedi. Hopefully that, yeah, turns off on its own. What was I saying? Gone blank. Yes, 3D platforming was solved by Mario World in Mario World. Great game, by the way. Mario 64 back in, what was that, 19, I'm going to get this wrong, 97-ish, something like that. Yeah. And the Lego games don't really get that right until a fair little way into their life. One of the later games has you jumping on, doing sort of fairly pixel perfect jumps on platforms that are on rotating cylinders, which in one player is a nightmare. When you're playing with your wife, and she's the other character, it's nigh on impossible to get those things synchronized. I'm doing the jump again. Don't do the jump. Yeah, but that improves. Certainly, as games go on, you get more control over the camera, which helps you visualize 3D space far better than a fixed camera view that just sort of moves where the programmers want it to, and it's not always the ideal spot that it needs to be. Right, I think we're practically... Yes, this is the end of the level, isn't it? Let's just scoop up those last few studs. Let's just waste our time getting that... what is that, 100 of gold? Let's find out. So silver is 10, and... yeah, golds are 100. So I think blues, well, they're 1,000. And we haven't seen any purples yet, but there are purples. They must be like 5,000 or 10,000 or something like that, I guess. Oh, a couple of studs on top of the roof of the transporter here as well. Yum. Okay. And we just press the buttons, and away we go. And I shall probably have to mute the music here as well by the sound of it. But that's okay. Hey, we're off. Nice. Okay, level complete. Free play unlocked. So now we're able to go in and play with unlocked characters. But we don't want to do that until we've unlocked lots of characters. So we've got everyone we need. So True Jedi. Bing. So that gets us another, gets us a gold brick. The stud total does take far too long to count up. I think after doing this first level, we get to just skip this bit, which would be nice. So mini kits, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's that red ship that got blown up at the start, I think, isn't it? So we've got 5 out of 10 of those. So there we are, two bricks sorted. Right. Well, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that the recorder, the game capture device, worked properly. Back to the cantina. Oh, I can save over that one. Brilliant. Okay. That was the one I did just now that didn't record properly. So fingers crossed this one works just fine. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. Probably a bit longer than future videos are going to be because I was standing around and just talking about what we're going to do. I will at some point also cover exactly which games are on the list to be played all the way through. There are currently, I think, 25 of them, and the 26th Rise of Skywalker is due to be released shortly. 1.1% after 23 minutes. Look at that. Not bad, not bad. Right. Hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see some more of it. Tell your friends if you think they might like it. What else is there on YouTube? I don't know. There's a bell, isn't there? Good luck with that. Don't know why I said good luck. Anyway, thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.